All right, welcome back to another episode, Nosebleed Section, and this one is called Victory Formation Monday, baby.
2 and
Let's
0.
go. Let's go. Big Blue Nation, stand up.
What
What's
is
going on?
good?
Welcome back to the Nosebleed Section. I'm your host, Belly Daniel Bellinger, baby, find the end zone. And I'm joined by Graham Gano's personal leg day trainer. What's going
Yes.
on?
What's good? What's good? How you doing? Working on those
We
50
really
plus
have
yard
to give us
field goals
thanks
with
for
him
this
all week
victory.
last week.
If it weren't for you, we probably would have lost last week. I'm
I
just
know.
gonna stick with the. I'm just saying, you do really great work with Graham Gano. And Graham, if you're watching this, you need to thank this man.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is
One of my prized clients.
one of my prized clients. Yo, like the Giants are 2-0. 2-0. And I mean, yes, it's the Eagles still have to play tonight, but who cares? We're on top of the division, like at 2-0. Like I didn't never thought we'd be here. Not
Not
gonna
not not
lie.
only 2 and 0, but 2 and 0 for the first time since 2016. All right.
Yo,
That
it's
is a wild feeling. It's the first time in I don't know how long that we've actually won our home opener as well.
yeah. That that's I feel like that's like almost like the best part to me. Is like you won at home. You won a game on the road and you won a game at home already. Like
Mhm.
I and it was more of the same to me, honestly. Like I don't want to get too far ahead, but it was more of the same as last week. Like finding a way to win. It wasn't the prettiest. It was ugly at points, but you find a way to win. You find a way to make plays, get off the field, you know get the first downs, make the plays that have to happen. You made them happen for the second straight week.
Mhm.
So I am very proud of this team and the way the culture, the way it's trending, the emotion that I see out of Dable on the sideline. I love that. Like, but let's get into it again for everybody who did not see. Obviously, the Giants squeaked out a win. It was 19-16 over the Carolina
Yep.
Panthers yesterday, moving to 2-0 in the division. Like Benji said, it was our home opener. Um, there was a lot to take away from the game. Obviously, there was some good, there was some bad. Uh, Me personally, uh, Daniel Jones, to me, I think he did his job. He missed some people. I will say that he did miss some people, but I mean, when the game was on the line, he made. Everybody was saying he missed Daniel Bellinger across the middle to hit that first down to secure the victory, but the guy ran for it, used his own legs to secure the first down and secured the win. So I mean, you could be picky, but like he got the first down. Like he got the first down. Okay, he missed a read there. I get it, but people were just these are the same people that are like hating that. Like, he's like, oh, he's not the answer, and maybe he's not the answer, but he's 2 for 2 so far. Like 2 weeks in, you can make a case that he's doing his job. Like, other than that one back shoulder fake to Saquon Barkley week 1, he's been doing pretty well. You can't hate on the numbers this year. Like,
I think what you're getting is a lot of people who won't be satisfied unless Daniel Jones is Josh Allen himself. Unless he's out there putting up 5 touchdowns, 400 or 500 yards in a game, no interceptions, nothing like that, then they're going to be looking at it like, well, he's still a failure because they're looking at 3 other years of I would say up and down play, but mostly down. So and there's some people just aren't going to be satisfied. On top of the fact that unfortunately you have a lot of people who are dead set on having him just gone, not trying to find out like, all right, can he be giving him this one last shot? They just want him gone, and the fact that we're 2-0 is just like, all right, well, this is a problem because now we're going to be working our way out of draft position in order to pick up a quarterback in the draft. But you can't live in the draft. You don't know who's going to be coming out. You don't know, you know, you don't know anything about like the draft is the biggest crapshoot in the world.
Yep.
So, like, I don't like living like that. I don't like looking at I don't like looking at the situation like that. But it is what it is. I like living in the moment. And in the moment, we're 2-0, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like looking at mock drafts in September. Like I don't like doing I don't like doing that. I know my college prospects, but I don't like looking at mock drafts in September. There's no reason to be
You
sitting here
know
in
how long
September.
I was doing the mock drafts last year.
Oh,
It
you were
was
doing
not
mock
fun.
drafts. Oh my god.
It
You're
was
doing
not
mock
fun.
drafts from you're doing mock drafts from like October to like the day of the draft.
Yeah,
Like yeah, it was so bad.
it was
It was
bad,
bad.
bro.
It was like and like we're far from a complete team. Far from a complete team. We're nowhere near it. I get that much. But even 2 games in from last year to this year, I like again the vibe of the team, the culture of the team, the play calling, the scheme. It's just a different energy about it. And like in the future, the past few years, yeah, we have sat up here and said like, like we're looking at quarterback X, Y, Z, blah blah. We have done that, but this team again so far this season, again there were some ugly moments, some bad moments in the game, and I get that, I understand that, but it's the Giants. They're always going to sit up here and give us all heart attacks. We're all going to sit here and curse these guys out for the next 2.5 hours until the game ends, and then be like, "Oh, knew we had it all along." Like
Yep.
this is how Giants fans are.
Yep.
This is what we
Yep.
do.
All
This
you
is
gotta do is post a screenshot from our chat room on Sunday.
just cursing every player out and hating them. And then when they do something amazing, oh my God, Dawson Knox is out. Oh my God, my fantasy team's in shambles week 2. But like, it's just, I'm sorry, that was a real time moment for me. I just saw him getting stretched out by the trainer. Um, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It shows. I just love the competitiveness, and I show that we're not willing to just be like an 0-17 team, and just be like, you know what, let's go 0-17, make sure we have the first pick in the draft, and then we have our pick of a C.J. Stroud, a Bryce Young, a Will Levis, Anthony Richardson. Like, let's just make sure we're not doing that. We're not laying down as being an 0-17 team. We're gonna go out. We're gonna play our games. We're gonna try to win every game. We're not gonna win every game. We're not going 17-0. I can guarantee that much. But we're not going to lay down like last year and just have just negativity and just bad players on the whole field and have terrible play calling that and just being like, yo, we're gonna just run the ball 3 times, punt it, play field position, and try to lose every game like respectably. Like that's what it feels like. That's what I felt like we did last year. It felt like if we could lose every game like 14-0, then we did our job. Cool. This year it's like, nah, we're going out to try to win the game. Like we may not win every game. Some might be some luck. Some might be some, a great play. But we're gonna go out every game and we're going to give it our best shot. And that's just what I feel is like the difference of last year to this year.
I agree with you. Completely agree with you. The feel around this team, and there's a couple of things that we want to get into. Specifically, something I had heard about one of our players post game. Um, that actually differs a bit from it. But for the most part, like you saw it last week after the Titan game, you saw what the locker room looked like. You saw what Dayball was doing in there. I think what was it that they said "Juicy" by Biggie is now like the team's official anthem or something like that. Now,
He knows he knows all the lyrics of the song. And he listens to like every day.
well, like, I
Like
said it before. I said when he got hired, he said he came down here, drove down from Buffalo, listening mostly to Biggie. So that's his guy. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's one of the goats right there. But excuse me, I was thirsty for a second. We listen, but like we gotta temper the expectations a little bit with some of the people who are already calling like 4-0. Maybe we can go out to London and make it 5-0 and all of this other stuff. All right, listen. First off, we need to get past Dallas first, right? Because that game looked appealing before Cooper Rush decided he wanted to go out there and play like an actual
he
NFL quarterback last
he
night.
Joe Montana and all the other shit.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah. So, like I said, just for the Giants fans that are out there, like I love the enthusiasm, I love the optimism. I'm not trying to be pessimistic or step on anybody's joy or anything like that, but just keep your expectations realistic. All right, just keep them realistic. Um, Getting into what we saw yesterday. Um, First and foremost, when you look at Daniel Jones, he played a he played the game and played the hand that he was dealt. I should say more so than anything else, because the interior of our offensive line was damn near non-existent yesterday. Um, Evan Neal was
Second game
getting
in a row.
yeah, the Evan Neal was getting absolutely worked, which I expect. You know, he's a rookie, he's got to learn, and he's like I said, once he gets that, gets really adjust to how players are gonna attack him. Evan Neal's gonna be a wall, and you're not gonna be able to get around him. All right, Andrew Thomas, although PFF actually ranked him pretty high or whatever, Andrew Thomas was getting worked yesterday. Right? He was not having a really, really good game. Like I saw him giving up quite a bit of pressure. Like that could have been because of the fact that he was trying to work his man outside, and because there was so much pressure coming from the inside that Daniel Jones was getting pushed right into that. I don't I would actually have to go back and really take a look and see what was going on. But like I said, Daniel Jones he basically went out there and played the hand that he was dealt, regardless of whether that hand was a losing hand or not, because he didn't really have a running game for the first half. Saquon ended up with, I think, 72 yards at the end of the game, which is impressive considering he had 0 at halftime. But
You know how mad I was about that?
yeah, they basically Carolina came in with the game plan of we are not going to allow Saquon Barkley to beat us. And they had absolutely zero respect for the passing game. Now, what I am going to get on, I said this last week, and I'm going to say it again because it happened again earlier yesterday. Mike Kafka has to stop trying to get cute in certain situations. All right. We go down here, we get this fumble on the kickoff. We have the ball pretty much goal to go already, and we cannot punch the ball into the end zone because we go out there and we start doing like this wasn't exactly that particular situation, but we had a wildcat snap down there. We had Daniel Jones trying to do some weird rollout by himself or whatever. I'm like, come on, man. Like these guys are legitimately already on their heels. This is unnecessary right now. All right. Get the offense rolling, get them into a rhythm, and then you can start sprinkling that mess in there. All right. But like I said, throughout the entire first half, the play calling was a little iffy or whatever. And I think that actually contributed to the fact that our offense really couldn't get it going. But once we went into halftime, we made our adjustments. And this is something that I'm going to keep harping on as well. Halftime adjustments, they came out in the second half and were a completely different football team. Aside from the first drive, because we went out there and went 3 and out. But after that, we went out there, we got our 13-point trigger, which apparently is a thing now. Like as soon as the opponent has us down in the second half and they have exactly 13 points, that's when the switch hits. All right. You get out there and we actually drive the ball down the field for a nice little drive and score a touchdown. I don't get it. It's weird, but it is what it is. All right. That's what happened.
Gosh.
And it pretty much got us in gear. And with that one drive, that pretty much got the entire offense going. All right. Now, what I'm going to come down on Daniel Jones for, and I'm going to let you go after this. He had 2 throws. One of them, I'm seriously being like, bro, what the hell? That was the pass right before halftime that he threw damn near into the defender's hands and he dropped it. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was looking at, and Saquon was right in front of him, wide open. Right. I don't know what was going on in that play. I don't know if before Saquon had gotten into his position or whatever, if he had completed his route, he was already on to the next progression. I don't know what was going on there. I did not like that one bit, and it pissed me off to no end. All right. The other thing that I'm going to get on him about is a bit of a joke, but at the same time, it's like, dude, why? He had a play, I believe it was on like a second down, it was like a second and short, and he was rolling out to the side, and instead of taking the ball and running it, he threw a pass to Sterling Shepard, who was on like a 2-yard curl, and Shepard ended up getting stopped before he got the first down or whatever. And I'm sitting up here and I'm just like, why did you even? Why did you throw that? Why did you just run? I
I
don't
don't know.
understand. Like some of the stuff, the decision making and things with him has to get better. All right, and I'm sure that they're going to be working on him with Dayball isn't afraid to actually approach him during a
No,
game and
which I
let it
love.
be seen, which I love it. I love it. I'm not going to sit up
Oh
here and be
yeah.
like, that's how coaching is done. All right. And like I said, we could sit up here and we could talk about, the different things or whatever that he has to do to improve, but that's going to be him to act. It's going to be on him. All right. And like I said, I'm sure they're going to be working on it with him. So you can go ahead. I done ranted enough for a second.
For a second.
Yeah, for a second.
I don't know. Like the main thing I was really upset about again was, like you said, the lack of run game. And I believe at half, if I saw correctly, Saquon Barkley had 5 rushes for 3 yards. Believe it was at the half. I was just like, if anything, the Tennessee. There's no reason. I understand you can game plan or anything, but if you just don't have the personnel for it, then you should be able to. I'm not gonna say dominate, but you should be able to still run your offense through a team on. So for Saquon to only have 5 touches at halftime, that hurt me. And Saquon is the best player on your offense. He's your best, most dynamic piece. You have to find ways to get him involved to get the offense going. So yes, if he's not running effectively, split him out, throw a screen to him, dump it to him in the flat, throw it on a flare. If he sits across the middle, dump it. Do something to get the ball in his hands. And the same thing, to me happens with like Kadarius Toney. Toney comes on the field, and Toney is one of the more electric people on the entire field. And he comes off for 2-3 plays, and then he's just gone again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand with like a Kenny Galladay, because clearly we're phasing Galladay out. Like, we're planning to be done with him after the season. I'm more than sure. I'm like 100% sure of that, because there's no other reason you have $70 to $80 million sitting on your bench, and he had 2 snaps yesterday. The leading receiver was David Sills. He played 92 or 97% of offensive snaps, I think, yesterday. I think he only missed 1 or 2 snaps the entire game. David Sills, who was fighting for a roster spot, came in and he plays 97% of your snaps. So you have to find ways to get your quarterback in a rhythm, because Daniel Jones is not, while he's not a rookie, he's a rookie to this offense because it's like his 4th offense in 4 years. So you have to get your quarterback, who you're just learning, he's just learning you, he's just learning Dable and Kafka. You have to get him going early into some type of rhythm. Get him going, just short, simple plays. Do something to get him going. And then after that, trickle in some crossing routes, some slants, timing throws, so he can hit with accuracy. And for Daniel Jones, and for the offensive line, offensive coordinator, and the head coach, the O line is still in flux. You have a rookie right tackle. Your interior isn't the greatest. Your left guard is not good right now. Short, and the thing is, like, the Bills when you look at the Bills have a short, quick passing game. Some plays they go deep down the field, but I'm more expecting this to be able to bring that to the Giants. So, like, hit these short passing plays, hit these intermediate throws that, like, this guy's bringing to New York. He's bringing his playbook to New York. So, like, I'm gonna say copy Josh Allen, but like, hit the short throws, hit the intermediate throws, hit timing, like, get a rhythm going. But again, like you said, Kafka can't get all crazy with all these different play calls, all these little cute play calls. They're not going to work because we don't have the personnel that these other teams had.
Not even just that. The teams have not learned to respect our offense yet. So
that too.
you have
Honestly,
to
why
develop.
would they?
You got to develop some type of an identity before you start pulling all of that craziness out. But
Oh,
granted,
of course.
game 1, you want to sit up here and throw Toney out there onto like a reverse and give him the option to throw the ball. Like, okay, fine. Nobody's seen anything. All right. But you got game 2, you have a sample size now. Like, Carolina's out there, the game planning for the offense that showed up there against Tennessee. So now you can't sit up there and just be like, all right, well, we're going to throw out all of the BS and we're going to start doing all the craziness. No, we can't get out there and do that, man. Speaking of which,
No,
why the
not at
hell is
all.
this game
But
7-7 already? I swear this just
yeah,
started.
I'm watching as we're talking. Like I agree. I agree. I think I'm not gonna say just be all simple and plain and basic, but you still have to get your quarterback into a rhythm early and often. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to establish that. You have to do that. And again, if Saquon's your workhorse, get it to Saquon. Now, defensively, I am happy that other than that one like 49-yard rush, we shut down Christian McCaffrey pretty well
Yep.
yesterday. I mean, other than that, he was over 100 with that run, but other than that, like I think he had around like I don't want to say like 60, 70 yards rushing if it wasn't for that like 49 or 40-yard run, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, I do again. I think the defense played well. Wink Martindale continues to do well as a defensive coordinator. It's only 2 games in, but he has come up with good game plans for the past 2 games so far. He shut down Henry. He shut down CMC so far. And the only thing that's really killing me is that we could not get home on Baker Mayfield. We got it the one time with Julian Love when it mattered the most. We got it that one time, but you got to be able to win up front. We have to be able to win. Cat went down, and Cat wasn't doing much of anything anyway. Jahal Ward isn't a pass rusher. Like he's great in the run game. I will give him that. That dude can set an edge, and nobody's getting outside of him. I'll give Jahal Ward that. He is disruptive. He will have some hurries, some pressure, but he wasn't getting home like that either. People to be talking about again O'Shane Jimenez and saying that he had a great game, I'm still not fully seeing it. Like I personally, I don't see it. Like again, good at setting an edge, but the plays I saw from him, he was getting stonewalled, just back to back to back to back plays. So I'm like, cool, great in the run game, great. But I need you to be able to one on one in the pass rush against this lineman. If you can't, then to me you only become a first or a second down player. You're not, and I'm just waiting for like Aziz and KT to hopefully get back because we have to get some type of pass rush. There has to be something because we got away with it the first 2 weeks because Tennessee just leans on the run game and runs play action off of that. The Panthers are another team like us that are in flux. They're trying to figure out what's going to happen with Matt Rule. Baker Mayfield isn't like a top 5 quarterback. They have some decent weapons. Like they have DJ Moore, and Terrace Marshall if he can get together. Like their tight ends are okay. Their line still is a work in progress. So the Panthers are a work in progress. So like you got away with it the first 2 weeks. Going forward though, you have to be able to win with pass rush. If it's one-on-one pass rush, you have to be able to win.
Yeah.
Like if you can't get home and put any pressure on that quarterback, and he's just going to sit back there, then it's going to be a long day for us. A long day. I mean, shoot, look at Cooper Rush last night. Like he sat back there and he had himself a game. So I'm like going forward. Something's gotta give. We gotta figure something out. We gotta be able to get home. If Wink has some more blitzes, I don't know, but we gotta have edge rushers that can win 1-on-1. That's gotta happen.
Mm. I got to say, before we move too far off of the defense, um, real quick on O'Shane. I know damn well he isn't going to hear this, all right? But he had a play yesterday that both me and John called out where Baker Mayfield took a hit from him and just didn't go down after he had released the pass or whatever. And I was just like, bro, if Baker Mayfield had actually fallen, that's a roughing the passer right there. Gotta be careful with that shit. Like there are people in the NFL that can get away with that. Like if TJ Watt did it, then all right, whatever. That's TJ Watt. He's not getting called for that. All right, unless it's like really egregious. But
Right.
O'Shane Ximines, you don't have that equity. So you gotta play smarter or whatever. You gotta play smarter and you gotta be able to, you know, understand what the situation is. Like that's quarterback. He may not be Patrick Mahomes. He may not be Josh Allen. He may not be Justin Herbert, whatever. Right.
Word.
But he's still QB. He's out there, regardless of whether you can see it or not. He has a red shirt on. Right. Just
Very
be
true.
careful as you're coming in on that. Now, the other thing, and granted, It's my dude. X, love you. Coming under control when you're on that safety blitz. I cannot stand watching a safety coming on a blitz and seeing the quarterback just spin out off of it like it was absolutely nothing. That was the most disappointing thing I saw yesterday because I was gearing up for Xavier McKinney to kill Baker Mayfield and he just missed. It actually hurt my soul, and I'm like I can't even formulate the words to describe how I felt seeing him actually spin off of that. And McKinney, like, granted, he recovered and he chased him down from behind, but come on, all right, that's a momentum play right there. You put your shoulder into his back or whatever, or if he does try to spin out, if you're coming in there under control or whatever, right, and you're not just coming in there like a bat out of hell. You got the ability to actually break down, and if my man is going to try and spin out, then you can take that spin with him, wrap him up, take him down. Now you got a sack. You didn't, hit him, but you got that sack. They lost yardage. You got momentum. The crowd is hyped up. Everything. So, guys, just gotta control the emotions that are going on during the game, and actually make sure that they don't lose technique.
Yeah, I agree with that. I saw the D line do that too many times yesterday too. I saw D line, and what kills me as like a defensive line coach. What kills me is like the reach, the grabbing, trying to just grab. Like I hate seeing the D lineman win against one on one against his offensive line, against his man, and running at the quarterback and doing like one of these, like
Yeah.
just reaching and grabbing, and the quarterback's just like, nope, and just steps out the way. Then they go flying and fall into the ground. Like, yo, I understand you're like 290, 300 pounds. You're still an athlete.
Yep.
Like, run at him, break down, wrap him and roll. Like, I don't care. You don't have to have some big crushing hit because in the NFL, like college, you're gonna sit here and start calling for all that, D line or D tackles with 310 pounds falling on the quarterback and driving him into the ground anyway. They're gonna call all that crap. So you don't do that, but come under control, wrap him and roll to the ground, fall to the ground, bring him to do something. But like just watching these guys, you do all the hand fighting and you do all the bull rush and the pass rush, and you get past your guy 1-on-1, and it's literally you with a kill shot on the quarterback, and then you want to play all grab shit, and then you miss. I'm like, yo, I watched it happen like 3 or 4 times yesterday. Like Nick Williams and Cat Williams and Jabari Ellis, all people just falling to the ground, trying like Baker Mayfield is like Priest Holmes or something, like just elusiveness on 1,000. I'm like, yo, what are we doing? Like, break down, stay in your pass rush lane, break down, and give the man no room to step up. Y'all over here like look like you're like Pee Wee kids, just falling all over the place. It was just embarrassing. And Baker's just like stepping up in the pocket and taking off and running off to the side. I'm like, bro, we could have sacked this guy like an easy 2, 3, 4, 5 times yesterday. But you guys don't want to break down. Like, it's not hard. Break down. Like, please.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said with X. And then, like, because you saw Julian Love did it. He broke down, grabbed the inner thigh, wrapped him, brought him to the ground, got like one of the game clinching sacks. Like, the only sack of the game? Like,
Pretty much. Unless
ugh.
there's one that I'm just forgetting.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think that was the only one we had yesterday.
Mm.
And that's what I said. It's just a scary thought that we have to send pressure every time in order to get home on the quarterback because we can't win 1-on-1 with the people we have right now. Why are you sideways? What did you do?
No, I was trying to open up another app, trying to see what the deal was.
Oh,
I was trying to check something
yeah.
to see. I'm not as advanced as you with your laptop and everything like that. I'm actually working off, my highly advanced Galaxy S22 though. So
Yeah, I got mine right here. The I can pull up stats. If that's what you want to do, I can pull up
yeah, I was
stats.
checking to see because I'm thinking I swear we might have had one more.
I can do that. I actually did I pull it up here? Uh, I might have pulled it up. Let me see. 'Cause I was getting ready to pull it up myself, and I just I couldn't remember. I totally forgot. We got off track, but from what I remember, that was the only sack we had of the game. I'm checking right now. Julian. Oh no, we had. Oh, X got one. X got a
Did get
sack too.
one.
We had two. X got one, and
That
Julian
them
Love
they
got
might have
one.
credited him. They might have credited him for a sack on that blitz that he just came back when he actually just grabbed him from behind as he was trying to run.
Maybe, maybe. You know what I did like? I like that. I like seeing Dane Belton on the field finally.
Yes.
I definitely like seeing that. And
Yeah. And
Flop
the
and
fact
Flop
he
got
was
some reps.
he was active as well. I think Belton ended up having like 4 or 5 tackles. He got out there. There's a
Yeah,
guy that I honestly didn't think we were ever going to see this year because he had broken his clavicle like right out of like as soon as camp started.
yeah.
I'm
He
like,
had you're right. He had 5 tackles last night. Yesterday.
mm-hmm,
I liked what I saw out of him. I definitely did. I liked him, and then Adore I thought played well,
yeah,
and then Cordell Flott's another one. He just he had some good moments, but then I saw a couple times where he again another one just not slowing his body down, coming to balance, coming to control, and breaking down and making a tackle. Like these corners want to fly in at 1,000 miles per hour and just like slide and try to like take an ankle. It's like, bro, no. Like, what do you? Is this you? If you've played like pee wee football, all the other stuff, like I'm sure you were taught the basics of tackling since you were like 8, 9 years old. I'm more than sure they didn't tell you to just run in at 1,000 miles per hour, fall to the ground, and try to like take his ankle from under him. Break down when you tackle, please, please. Like we tell our kids all the time, we tell our kids all the time. Blocking and tackling will win you games. Like block and tackle. It's the name of the game. It's very simple. Block and tackle. If you block, you can run and you can throw the ball. You tackle, the other team won't be able to do much. It's very simple. Like, oh my gosh, just seeing these kids just run it and just whiff all game long. I was just like, please, for the love of God, somebody just make one nice textbook tackle.
I think
Uh,
in the most egregious one, and I think I went through every profane word that I know when it happened. Carolina ran a draw yesterday, and when they ran this draw, their offensive line turned 3 of our defensive linemen loose. Every single one of them ran straight past Christian McCaffrey. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? How? I I
yeah, I
I,
know.
I literally need to know like how.
I remember what you were talking about too. I remember that. I legit remember that. It was horrible. It's horrible. I don't know. What's funny to me offensively is the fact that our number one receiver is Richie James, and our number two receiver is David Sills. I find that hilarious. I find that hilarious. Like,
Well, like I said, Dable. I was listening to I want to say it was Bad Dog earlier. Bad Dog or
mm,
Entertainer, one of the two of them. And no, it was Bad Dog. And he was just like, you gotta understand that Dable and Shane don't have any connection to any of the guys that are here, right?
nope.
With the exception of the free agents that they brought in the draft picks that they brought in. There's no connection to anyone. Like I'm sitting up here, I'm
No.
looking at the chat right now. I see Steven talk about, forget Galladay. He's a Gettleman guy. That, to be fair, 70% of this roster is Gettleman guys, right? But you're going to get out there and they have the mindset of, all right, you're going to earn your playing time. You're going to go out there, you're going to do what's necessary to fit into the system. And if you don't, then you're not going to play. So, whatever the situation was with Tony, like Tony is like I don't know what's going on with him. he's apparently like aside from during the week when he went on the injury report for like 20 seconds, like he's fine, but he hasn't been getting that much playing time. Now I know he had more than 7 snaps yesterday. But then you get a guy like Galladay, who's only on the field for I think 1 or 2 plays, one of which was Daniel Bellinger's touchdown. So maybe that helped out a bit. I don't know. But he's the person that I was sitting up here talking about earlier. Well, it's just like aside from one instance, you really have this culture that's being built within the team where everybody seems to be on board. Before the media even came into the locker room for that period, Galladay's locker was cleaned out and he was gone. So, like I said, I don't know. Maybe he's got the message already. I don't know what his deal is, but at this point, it's like
It's done.
$72 to $76 million that are just down the drain. It was a bad signing. It was wasted.
Just wasted.
So, I don't know what the situation is with him. I don't know exactly. It's not like we can really do too much of anything with him right this second because the dead cap would just be astronomical at this moment. But I think like after this season, like unless somebody is really willing to trade for that contract, which I seriously doubt, especially after the performances that he's had over the past season and 2 games, like he's just going to have to be cut. He's going to have to be cut. And I really wished and hoped that this dude could actually be some type of good because I've seen him, the hell, in games against us. That he can, like if he's motivated, he can go perform. But maybe he needs Matthew Stafford to be his quarterback. I don't know.
I don't know. I look at the receiver room and I really see like I don't see really. My main thing I was thinking was like, why do we even bother to bring Slayton back? Like, why do we even bother to like bring him back on like the reduced money and everything? Like, what was the point? He hasn't touched the field. Like
in his case, it actually works out better, even though he isn't on the field, because from what I heard, the way he reduced his salary would have been the savings that we would have gotten or whatever. So we still saved the same amount of money and we kept him on the roster so we didn't have to go fill the roster spot. So in this case, regardless of how, like I said, we feel about Slayton and his performance or whatever, you still have somebody on the field that's been in the offense at the very least and has some type of a rapport with your quarterback, and you're not pulling somebody off of the street. For all we know, like I said, the way this thing's been going, Slayton could go out there on Monday or whatever and catch 6 or 7 passes. Who knows? How often did we see David Sills in the first game? Like
he got snaps at least. Like Slayton hasn't even gotten snaps.
He was out there.
Like Slayton was out there.
Yeah, he was only out there for 4, but he was out there.
4. Like I would have moved on from this guy, and I mean, looking like Alex Bachman that we really want, bring him back. I'd rather bring him back. Like
I would have loved that. I would have loved that.
I'd rather bring back Bachman than keep Slayton and just sit him there and do nothing with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the point? What was the point? Everybody in the world was like, yo, just bring Bachman on the team and get rid of Slayton. See if you can get rid of Slayton for like a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick. Be done with them. So I understand the whole money aspect of the thing, but like as far as filling a roster spot, yo, Bachman, let's go. Like, like a 6th receiver. Like, are we really gonna be like, we're not gonna go spend $5 million? Like, this guy's gonna be a $500K guy. Like, here, $500K, come be our 6th receiver.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think that had to do more with the fact that they didn't feel like teaching anybody the offense right off the street. That's all.
I guess, but it's a new. I guess, but it was a whole new offense. Dable and Kafka is a whole new thing. So you brought in. So it doesn't matter if Slayton was there. Slayton and Kafka. Slayton and Bachman are still learning the offense at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it don't matter. If
I'm just saying that from the standpoint of if it was somebody aside from them.
Oh, aside from them, I get it. But when it came down to like those last Like that last, especially Bachman balled the hell out in preseason.
Yeah.
There's no reason, like again, like I trust Dable, I trust Shane and everything, but there's no reason that we should have kept Slayton and cut Bachman, especially if you're gonna sit here and sit Slayton like you've been sitting him. You see 3-4 plays. I feel like it's gonna be almost like a Viking scenario where the Vikings release their entire 2021 draft class. Like I feel like it's gonna be a situation like that. Like we're gonna we're gonna just like purge the entire receiver room outside of Richie James and David Sills. Like that's really what I see at this point. Like KG is going to be gone next year. Like there's no way that we're going to sit here and have this guy making $76 million to sit on our bench in another season. We're going to cut our losses, be done with Galladay next year. He's gone. Then you got KT, you got Kadarius Toney. And I don't know what situation with him is, but it looks like we're going to move on from him after this year too. It's like there's been trade rumors coming up about this guy and everything. And again, the last regime barely got him the ball, and he was hurt. This time he's healthy in this new regime, and you don't want to give him the ball. You don't want to involve him. You only give the guy 5 to 10 plays a game. Like I don't understand the logic unless your solution is to move on from him next year. Because if you're not going to move on from him, then why are you not involving him? Like it just don't make sense. Like you're like, oh, we have packages for him. That's bullshit. I don't believe that because there's no way you have package. There's no way you're telling me that your offense is going to revolve around David Sills. There's no way that this guy who could not make the Giants' final 53 5 out of the past 6 years or whatever it is comes in now and he's gone from this to number one receiver who plays 98% of snaps because he's in every package. But Kadarius Toney is in one package, which gets 3 plays a game. That is complete bullshit to me. I will not believe that.
Mm.
Like it, so outside of Sills, James, if we bring him back, and maybe Sterling Shepard, I don't even know if
Wandale.
he's going to be back.
It's even
And Wandale,
Wandale too.
out of those three, are probably going to be our receivers next year. Because I don't think Sterling's going to be back next year either.
I don't know. I would love for Sterling Shepard to be back. Like I said, my biggest issue with Shepard is his concern for his health.
It's
Um,
durability.
but like I said, as far as reliability, it's Sterling Shepard. Like that he's honestly probably over the last since Odell Beckham has been gone, he's probably been the most reliable receiver the Giants have had. So
He
I
just
don't
doesn't
know,
get any
man.
separation from me. I don't know. Like, to me, he doesn't get any separation from me, in my opinion. But to me, the best ability is availability.
Availability.
And if you're not available, then you can't really help me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love the whole legacy pick, and I love the whole tradition. I love that he wanted to be a Giant. I love all that. That's great. That's amazing. It's a great story. I get it. But the NFL is a "What have you done for me lately?" league, and he's been here how many years? And out of those many years he's been here, how much has he been on the field?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question you really have to ask everybody. And it's like I love Sterling as much as the next guy. I wanted to get for like the past 2 and 3 years, I wanted to get a Sterling Shepard color rush jersey because I just thought the 87 in white would be dope. But I don't know if he's going to be on the team next year. Like again,
And he's
out of
3
those
now.
that too. But I'm like out of those three, I just don't like. I don't. I mean, other than those three, other than Wandale, Sills, and Richie James, if they bring them both back on 1 year deals, I don't see KT being here next year. The way they're acting with him, I don't see Galladay being here. I don't see Sterling Sherman being here either. And I'm sure Slade's going to be gone too.
I think what's going to be really telling is how Kadarius Toney is used on Monday, because the whole specter of Kadarius Toney is due to his performance against Dallas last year. Remember, that's the game that he went off for 189 yards. Granted, a lot of that was double moves on Diggs or whatever, and he was just biting on it, damn near everything Toney did,
Yeah.
and just the unfortunate sight of Mike Glennon just lofting up ducks and Kadarius Toney just happening to come down with him.
Straight PTSD from Mike Glennon. Hearing the
I
name
know.
just brings back. Oh my god,
But
Mike Glennon.
like I said, that was one of the things that we that was the game that gave Kadarius Toney like the Kadarius Toney like name. He's the feeling the Giants fans got when they thought about this dude because he just went off. He had a couple of plays. Like honestly, it was weird that he did not score in that game. And
Word.
funny, he actually still hasn't scored. But like I said, but we will see exactly how that works out when we play them on Monday, because that's probably going to be the most telling thing as to how or what his future with the team is going to be. Because if you're not going to use him there against, like I said, a division rival in a game that, regardless of whether you think you absolutely need it right this second or not, you absolutely need it right this second. Like, if you're not going to use him there, then when are you going to use him?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that.
Well, you're
I
going to
think
debut the young Joker package when we go to London.
I don't know. I really don't know. I know one thing I did like that I would like to see more of though is the tight end production. I think the Taylor Hudson pickup has been pretty decent so far.
Which is
Him and
strange too, because of the fact that he's been getting more play than Bellinger.
yeah, he has. Even though I think Bellinger is still listed the starter, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean Tanner had. Well, I'm looking at the stats right now. Tanner had 2 catches for 22 yards, and Bellinger only had 1 for 16. Now I
Which was
know
a
everybody
touchdown, yeah.
saw. Yeah, hit that touchdown. And I know, yeah, again, like I said before, everybody saw Bellinger across the middle of the field at the end of the game. We understand that. I want to see the Giant Titans be more productive, though. I want to see not game plans around them, but I want to see them feature in the offense more because we've had, we've had great tight ends in the past. Like, Shockey, like, even like Kevin Boss pickup was like, was great for us. Jake Bauer even did great for us. Like we've had tight ends that have come out of nowhere and have been productive for us. Numbers like the worst 2 tight ends I can think of that we've had in the past like 5, 6, 7, 8 years would probably be Brett Myers because he was awful, and then freaking Larry Donnell. And I know people loved Larry Donnell, but he was awful. The dude
No,
was a tight.
people loved Larry Donnell because his breakout game, that first game where he caught 3 touchdowns against Washington, he looked like he was going to be good, and then he
Of
started
course,
pile driving himself into the ground on every play, and
I,
then
I will never, for the people that are watching this, please go on YouTube and look up Larry Donnell. I think it's like Larry Donnell front flip or something like that. Please look it up. I wish there was like a bar I could drop a link in the bottom of the chat. But for those of you guys watching, there is legitimately a play. I think it was the Giants or the Niners game or something like that, where Larry Donnell catches a pass and to avoid being hit by the defender, proceeds to do a front flip.
yep,
Don't, don't look at
yep,
me like this. Like, what did he just say? I said what I said. I said what I said. He caught a pass, and then to avoid, don't blow the chat up and be like, "Yo, you're crazy." No, no. Go on Facebook or go on YouTube. If I honestly after this is over, maybe I'll post it to the page. Maybe I'll post to the story. I'll pull a flashback Monday, flashback Larry Donnell for you guys. I'll find the clip. Maybe I'll screen record it or something, and I'll drop it in the story. My man legit caught a pass, and to avoid being hit, decided to do a front flip in the middle of the game on the field. Just saying.
and to put it into context, just remember and understand that Larry Donnell was a tight end years ago for the Giants. Years and years ago. I'm talking 2014, 2015. All right. That around that time. Right. This was before and this is the vile that we have for him actually outweighs the recency bias when it comes to how much we hate Evan Ingram.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And Evan Ingram is like 6'3", 225, 235. Larry Donnell was like 6'6", 250. And I think he like avoided like a corner hitting him, like a 5'10", buck 85 soaking wet corner. And he just decided to do a front flip to avoid getting hit. And I
I'm
was
like,
like, this
bro,
is
if
the
you don't
Giants.
pick him up and eat him on your way to a
Like,
first down, like,
like, like we went from people like Jeremy Shockey who cost us games running to people to hit them instead of going to get touchdowns. We went from Jeremy Shockey, who wanted to just hit people, to Larry freaking Donnell at one point. Him and Will Tye.
Mhm.
Like, people that just. And not for like, Will Tye was like a very glorified fullback, but he did way better than freaking Larry Donnell. And it will just kill me that Donnell, again, like, would have his moments where he would go up and high point a pass. He's 6'6" in the end zone. And I'm like, there's no reason. But there's other times where like he get bullied out the end zone by like 5'10" corners. I'm like, dude, you're 6'6", 260. Why is this 5'10" corner pushing you out the end zone?
Yep.
Why is this guy getting the ball over you in a jump ball? And like Eli will be throwing picks like, bro, you're 6'6". Like, you're a shooting guard in the NBA. You're damn near a small forward with center size. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. We're getting off topic. But, like, it's just, I want to see more tight end play. That's what I
It's
want.
Giants trauma. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just it's like I'm like skeeving out over here. Like, it's like making my head hurt. Like, I just want to see more tight end production. That's what I
Mhm.
want to see. I want to see, again, Tanner Hudson. He again has come in late in the season, not late in the season, but late in the off season, and has produced thus far. Daniel Bellinger, everybody has very high expectations on. We heard a lot of great things out of him out of training camp and everything. And I'm not going to say he's playing second fiddle, but it's like you want to see more. We want to see more than him just get like one catch, like one catch a game, two catches a game. Like, I don't want to see that. I want to see you guys run plays that are designed to maybe be like a play action drag or waggle across the field with Bellinger dragging and you hit him and he runs for 30, 40 yards. Like, I want to see something that's designed for him. I don't want to just be, as much as I am Stills Army, I don't want to just see 11 targets to David Sills every game. Like,
Mhm.
so I mean, that's just things that I saw, things that I personally want to see more of. But again, like I'm not gonna take too much away from Daniel Jones's game. Again, other than what you said earlier, and it really kills me because again, like we've said, it's like it just seems that Daniel has to mess up every game. Like, he has to do it, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why he can't escape that funk or what, but that back shoulder pass the first week against the Titans where he threw it straight to the defender, and this week against the Panthers where he threw it right to the defender and he just dropped it. It's like you said,
I don't know what he was looking at.
what were you possibly looking at? Forget Saquon check down. There was two defenders standing in front of the receiver. You looked that way, stared it down, and then threw it. What were you possibly looking at? Like, did
It was
you?
so bad because he looked over and he was like, "Yeah, I got this."
Yeah, like I can fit it in that. I can fit it in that window. There's no window. Like, the both Panthers receivers were standing in front of the Giant receiver. Like, the Giant receiver was like, "Yeah, the play's over. I'm double teamed. I'm blocked out. Like, there's two people." And Daniel Jones just like, hold my beer, and just like launched it. And like, luckily the freaking corners are like Madden corners where their catch is like a 36, and my man dropped it. Like, I'm just like, bro, there's like 50 seconds to go in the half. Do you have to screw up now? Do you have to do it? Can you just not get like, when it comes to times like that, it's just Dable's gonna learn, like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna take the ball out your hands right now. Like, you're playing too well. You feel like you want to mess up. Let me just hand the ball to Saquon. get out the half. Like, I don't know. I don't know if Daniels was betting on himself. Like, I gotta throw a pick a week and I'm gonna get an extra bonus. I don't know what he's doing. I really don't know if he's like a self sabotager. I
Daniel
don't
Jones is
get
on
it.
FanDuel.
Yeah, like
He had over .5 interceptions.
yeah, like and the dude freaking dropped it and he was like, damn, there was my bet slip. Like it's just like man lost money on him. So like I don't know what this guy's doing. But it's like yo, you have to mess up every week. Why? Why? Why can't you just have a good game? Like again, not to take away from because he had a decent game last year. He had 176. He didn't have amazing yards passing, but I mean 22, 34, 176 in the touchdown. He got sacked 3 times, whatever. He didn't have any fumbles. He didn't have any interceptions. But it's like,
Which is actually kind of praiseworthy considering
which it
how
is.
dire that was yesterday.
Yes. Like you said, Andrew Thomas didn't have the best game. Evan Neal was getting pushed back, and the interior was getting bodied. So like yeah, towards the second half, we made adjustments. We started to be able to run the ball effectively. He's getting a little more time. He's getting a little more of a pocket, but like he didn't turn the ball over. But it's like he wanted to, and that's what kills me. It's like every week, it's like you want to or you have to make
Mhm.
mess up. Like
Also, I
you
want
have to.
go
Go
ahead. Finish
ahead.
what you're saying. I was gonna
No,
say I wanted to.
I'm just saying. Daniel's just like I don't know. I don't know why you have to mess up. Like
Yeah.
you can have just a good game and not throw picks. Like it's okay to not throw interceptions, Daniel. Don't do it. Like we'll love you more for it.
hmm
God.
I wanted to correct something from yesterday too because for whatever reason, um, Daryl Johnston just kept attributing the stuff that was happening or the pressure that Glowinski was giving up. He was attributing it to Feliciano. Feliciano gave up, 2 or 3 pressures during the game or whatever. Like I know they were bad, but like the pressure that was coming from the right guard, that wasn't Feliciano. That was Mark Glowinski, and he needs to get his shit together too.
That's I
I,
don't know. Like
I just wanted
I
to make that clarification for anybody who was actually like listening to the broadcast and not actually knowing where the guys were on the offensive line and thinking like, oh man, this Feliciano guy, man, he's fucking terrible. Like, yeah, no, he didn't have a good game yesterday, but that wasn't him. Like, that was Glowinski.
it's tough because I don't know. I understand they still have to gel and everything, but Gowinski is more of a run game guy. Feliciano's more of just, I'm not gonna say he's a placeholder, but Feliciano's more of just like a to me, he's not so much a downhill guy. He's not gonna he can hold up in pass pro, but he's a little older, but he's not gonna be a world mover on the run game. And then you have the left guard position, which is just like in fucking flux. They're just a different left guard every it's just like they pull a name from a hat. Oh, Zudu, you're playing this drive. Oh, Bredesen, you're playing this drive. Like it's just like, dude, pick a guy. Pick
And
a
to be
guy.
honest, like it
Like
is if Lemieux comes back, how what's it gonna be then?
it's gonna be musical freaking chairs.
Musical guards.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to see that. That's what it really is rotating a guard every series. And it's just like it's annoying.
hmm
I don't know. I'm looking at and it's funny because I'm looking at like the guys under them. I'm looking at the guys under them. I'm looking at like a Wyatt Davis. I'm hoping that like Bobby Johnson can get something out of him and get him going. Maybe
hmm
if we get him active one day, like if we get him active, maybe he gets a shot after maybe midway through the season or something, or like late in the season. Um, Jack Anderson's another one who was on like the Eagles and he's on the Bills. I believe, yeah, he was on the Eagles and the Bills. But he's another one who he's a versatile piece, plays guard and center. And then I believe the other guy we picked up from the Ravens, like he's another piece who can play guard and center. So I'm more so I know Mongo's not going to be here long term. It's only on a 1 year deal as it is anyway. He's starting your center position.
hmm
So regardless, next year we're gonna have to figure out the center position, whether it's like Lemieux or if we get a year of Jack Anderson just sitting on a practice squad and he moves to that role, or if somehow if Gates makes it back onto the field by a
Oh,
miracle,
please give me that.
like I pray every day Nick Gates gets good enough to come back and just
Yeah.
anchor the offensive line and be the center. I would be happy, so happy about that. But I'm like, there's gotta be like I'm looking for more. I'm just looking towards, like I said, the future. I know Glow is older. He's not. I don't know if Glowski's 30 yet, but I know he's a bit older. I know Mongo's 32. Bredesen, I want to say, is around 27. And then you have Devery Hamilton, you have Azudu, and like I said, you have younger pieces under that. So I'm just looking forward what we're going to do going forward. And honestly, I wouldn't like if we miss out on the if we were to miss out on the quarterback prospects, I wouldn't be mad if we went offensive line this year again. I wouldn't be
Mhm.
mad if we had a first round pick and pick the interior guy. If you have a guy that you know is going to step in and be like a Quentin Nelson for you, who's going to
Mhm.
be a Pro Bowl, All Pro caliber guard for the next 10 to 12 years in the NFL, I would take him. I'm more than happy with that. You put that you plug him into your left guard spot because Lewinsky's on a 4 year deal as it is. So you plug that all pro guard to your left spot. Now you have him and you have Andrew Thomas on your left with Glow and Evan on the right, who has a year in now. And then you just figure out that center position, and your offensive line should be set. Along with the
Yeah.
pieces you have under it, should be more than set. And again, you come back, if somehow by the grace of God we get Nick Gates back, oh, forget about it. Like, that's just what my mind's thinking right now. I know the line's still a work in progress. So it's going to be that center and that left guard position that are really going to dictate how well we do this year. And moving forward, I'm just interested to see what's going to be the plan there.
Yeah. With me, it's of course it's that right there. I'm not so concerned about say like there's a couple of positions that I'm like really worried about. But aside from like our interior offensive line and getting that straightened out, I'm looking at we this team really needs a number one, yo. This team absolutely needs a number one wide receiver. They need to go, and I'm wondering exactly how it is that they're going to get that Stephon Diggs type guy on the roster. Because when we drafted Wandale, the first thing that popped in my mind was Isaiah McKenzie, and then you look at the rest of the situation, and it's just like, all right, who else do we have to fill these different roles and things that you can see in that Buffalo offense? Um, there's nobody that can fill the Diggs role. So it's kind of sort of like, all right, we gotta go out and search for that, but where is it? Do we do it in the draft? You do it in free agency? Go through a trade, but who's available during a trade and what exactly would you have to give up? Like, I don't know. It's that, and it's the fact that like I'm looking at our secondary, and I'm just like, I'm still scared to death of Aaron Robinson and Cordell Flott and the rest of these guys. Like, once that drive that Flott got made to look absolutely silly on pass, he got taken out. Like he wasn't in the game after that. Fabian Moreau was. They
Yeah.
were just like, you're not gonna exploit this. So I'm just like, what happens if Moreau is hurt there? Now you're sitting up there and you got to throw Flott back out on there, and now you have this liability. And I'm saying liability right now because he's young and he doesn't like corner is one of the hardest positions to adjust to in the NFL. And when you're getting thrown into being the number two corner as a third round pick when you were pretty much as the consensus him being overdrafted, like how much adjusting is he have to do? Like so, like I
Yeah.
said, my concern, like I said, right off of the bat, you got our offensive line, and this is just again, this is going forward. This is way past, Dallas next week or
Right.
whatever. But and of course, it's our interior offensive line getting the number one wide receiver in there, and then on top of that, getting that second corner fixed. Especially if you're going to be keeping Adoree Jackson around because Adoree isn't the healthiest guy. I'm find some type of wood to knock on because we don't need that at all.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
like
I think, and I also saw people are. One thing I did read that was kind of interesting was people are very interested in our practice squad players. So some people were saying actually, don't be surprised if some of our practice squad players start getting poached.
My bad. Pete Alonso
You're,
just hit a 3-run home run.
oh, okay. I was saying you just had like the epiphany of all epiphanies.
Nah. I'm just sitting up here. Sidebar from the Giants talk or whatever. For those who don't follow baseball or whatever, massive Mets fan. The Mets right now are in a dogfight for the NL East crown. We are playing the Brewers, who are right under the wild card spot, and the Braves are playing the Nationals, who absolutely suck this year. So they're a game behind us. The Braves are beating the living hell out of the Nationals right now, and we just went up 3-0 on the Brewers, so I'm good. All right, that's it.
Uh, real quick before we end, Leonard Williams has a sprained MCL.
Yeah, I had heard earlier that they were saying day to day, but I'm saying Kadarius, Kayvon Thibodeau, and what's the name, Azeez Ojulari have been day to day for 2 weeks. So
Yeah, yeah. They said he may miss time.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he will. I was
Yeah,
afraid that it was actually way worse than that because it looked like it was non-contact.
that's what Dable came out today and said that. He said it's better than we thought it could have been. So,
Hmm.
but he still might miss a couple weeks. So
Yeah, it's a
I don't
little.
know.
We're pretty sure it's a little tiny bit upsetting for him because he's going to miss one of the classic games, and I'm pretty sure he was good about that one. He looked kind of good in that classic uniform. So he's going to miss the Bears game, but he's going to be back. Hopefully, be back for the Washington game later on in the season.
We still. I mean, I'm just looking at our practice squad. We have Roche on the practice squad still too. He's sitting there down there.
Is he
I mean, yeah, Roche's still on the
okay?
practice squad.
I
Yeah.
was absolutely certain that somebody would have snatched him up off of waivers.
Like I'm looking at the practice squad right now. Um, because I mean, look at the roster, and I know like Davis Webb's down there. Sandro Platzgummer's down there.
Mhm.
We got like Marcus Johnson, Marcus Kemp, Khalil Pimpleton, the guy from Hard Knocks from the Lions, is still down
Yeah,
there. Yeah, Jack Anderson, Tyree Phillips.
Pendleton's going to make his way onto the roster at some point this
I
year.
think so at some point too. Yeah, Tyree Phillips from the Ravens, who we claimed another guard. He's down on the practice squad. Casey McDermott, he's a tackle. He's on the practice squad. Like this guy Henry Mondo. People were like, people were looking at the Giants practice squad. They said we're getting ready to get poached. Don't forget Jay Sean Corbin is down there too.
They didn't get his ass on the fucking team. Jay Sean Corbin
I
needs to be a
know,
Giant.
I know. We still have. I want to see more of Tamon Fox. That's what I want to see.
He's been playing. It's just a matter of he has. It's weird with him because you got he's interior linebacker, correct? Or is he edge?
Uh, he's out. He's an edge. He's edge rusher.
I think that is strange though, why he's not getting that much playing time. I was saying because
Yeah,
if
he's an
he's
edge rusher.
interior, you're not going to have much as far as rotation there, especially considering the fact that like when you do start changing packages, the thing is your interior linebackers that get pulled off of the field. But
Yeah.
like I said, if he's out there, he's rotating with Ward and with Zimenez. Yeah, that's going to be rough, especially when Thibodeau comes back.
But I don't know. And then I know, like you said, what's the name's going to be out. Well, Aaron Robinson should be back next week, but
Hopefully,
yeah, I hopefully. I don't think Moreau did that bad. I don't think Favorite Moreau did that bad this past game.
Mhm.
So I mean, we had a couple decent pickups. I know the guy Justin Lane from the Steelers. I didn't see him on the field too much. I know the guy McLeod was on, but I think that was most for special teams. But Eagles get ready to score. Well, they just scored. Ugh, whatever. But
yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just somebody's
Buffalo.
down for the.
Yep, I
Yep.
just flipped over.
Who is that?
I think the number was 30. I have no idea who that is.
Who is
But it's
30?
somebody on Buffalo's defense.
I think it was one of. I think it was one of the
Jackson.
corners.
Oh,
What happened?
yikes.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's what happened. Yeah, freaking Tremaine Edmonds with a forearm to the neck. Oh boy, that was ugly.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's end this. That was bad. That was bad. And
yeah.
there's less than a minute left in the freaking
Oh my God, they might bring the card out for that.
Yeah,
All right, wolf. That was what a way to
yeah.
end it.
On that note, phew.
Yeah. Well, for you guys, thanks for watching. Again, Victory Formation. Hopefully, we will come back next week. Another Victory Formation.
Won't be on Monday though.
I know. I know. It'll be Victory Formation Tuesday. We'll do.
Yes.
Hopefully. I mean, we did that after week 1. So
Yeah, man.
hopefully we come
Color
back.
Rush next week too. Color Rush on Monday. Greatest uniforms in the NFL.
They really are those. I really
Those
like
are
the
so
best.
beautiful.
I still gotta get one or like 6. I don't know. Yes, now I gotta get like Thibodeau now though because I don't want to pull somebody else and they down the team next year.
I don't worry about. I'm gonna get an Evan Neal.
That's still gonna walk around the right tackle jersey. Nobody does that. At least get Andrew Thomas. At least get the
Hey
left
man,
tackle.
listen. License plate guy has them. I don't care. All right.
He has like everybody's jersey though. That's different. That dude has Casey Kreiner long snappers jersey. Like, come on. Oh my gosh.
He's setting the example.
Definitely want to get that Darian Beavers next year. Definitely gotta do that.
Yes.
I can't wait for to see that guy on the field. Hopefully next year.
Yeah,
Oh
you're not
man,
lying. You are not
I
lying.
know.
And I haven't really been paying too much attention as far as player evaluation and things like that. I would really like to see what Michael McFadden can offer.
I think he was on the field a little bit in the last game. He was on the field quite a bit actually, from what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see next week.
Yeah.
But as always, everybody, thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, follow the page, support. Let us know how we're doing. The chat is live, so whatever you guys want to comment, we will be able to see it. We'll be able to talk to you directly. We'd love to hear what you guys think, your thoughts on anything that we've discussed, things we should have gone over, things we missed. But as always, have a great rest of your Monday. Hopefully, we see a lot more of this in our future. Have a great night, and peace out.
Graham Gano for president.
I'm down with that. He has my vote. He has my vote.